A beautiful evening to you and welcome to your favorite evening talk show right here on MX24 TV, The Dish, where we bring you thought-provoking conversations that you love to be a part of. My name is Oferiwa and I am your host. We do this with you, and so I always urge you to be part of the conversation. We are coming to you live from our studios here at number 7 Oleando Street, East Legon here in Accra. Be part of the conversation by sending in your thoughts, your opinions and questions if you have any to our WhatsApp number, or better still to any of our social media platforms or handles with the hashtag The Dish on MX24 TV. As always, we are here to make sure that your evening isn't boring, and we're going to be discussing something that we all see to be a threat or see to be a reason of concern. We're going to have a great conversation at the end of the day. So do tell a friend to tell another that we are on and the show is about to begin. Football season may be over, but the fun never stops with Betway. Take to the skies an aviator with a maximum payout of up to 100,000 cedis. Have a spin on the roulette wheel and try our live game shows or claim a royal stash in the popular Kings of Cash. The variety is endless with casino, lottery style and live games only at betway.com.gh. This ad is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana and not available to persons under 18 years. Terms and conditions apply. Betway says, bet your way. So this discussion, anytime it comes up, I feel it has diverse ways that it takes. And tonight, we're going to delve into it. Social media. How much is too much? Our world today has become a global village, we say, because of technology. And then it narrows down to social media, where we see everything happening at once. Even if you are not in that space or at that place at the moment, you're able to get all the information that you need. It's a place that we get to go share our thoughts, our problems, or even better still, talents are being found on there. We build relationships, and then a lot more things are happening on there. People boost their businesses and a whole lot more. In as much as all of these things are good, there's also the cons that comes with it. So there's the pros and then there's the cons. Other people are on there and they are bullying, some are scamming, some are stealing, some are hacking, and other people are just disrespecting people overall. We see a lot of things happen on social media. So in as much as it is very essential to our livelihood as a global village that we are in now, it is also posing some sort of threat or abuse to us as a people. And so tonight my guest and I are going to delve into it, and then we're going to see what happens when we are working on social media, when we are finding pleasure or cruising, just catching cruise on social media. The various things that happen, the good, the bad, the ugly, the not so good, and then the things that we can talk about, how productive or how unproductive it makes people, how lazy it makes students. Most people go on there to say they are learning, or they have their devices pretending to learn, but are just catching cruise on social media. And we're going to find out at the end of the day if social media is doing more harm than good to us as a people. Joining me in the studio is our very own Chi-Chi, or MFA Chi-Chi, who is a presenter. She is also the producer of the AM Club. Hi, Chi-Chi.
Hi,
Good to have you.
It's always good to be here.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
You're making my short hair game.
You inspired me. After you inspired me, decided to leave the gang. But it's fine. It's fine.
I'm going to come back. I told you I just need to build a bit of weight and then I'll come back. Because my mom says I'm too tiny. And so people, and of course, you know, people will disrespect you when you have blonde hair, you're tiny, and they feel like you're some teenager who is going wayward, not knowing that you're someone's grandmother. So I need to build the body so that it can match the hair when I'm back to the game. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And also joining us from the the Gimpa Law Faculty, who is also an aspiring president for the Law Students Association, is the beautiful Hilda Rosenthal.
Properly pronounced.
Rosenthal. Hey! Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Chichi, I see you smiling at her. Do you have a question for her?
We were just talking about the name before we went on. It's just
And we
a
all
beautiful
asked,
name.
are you Fanti? And she's not Fanti.
I'm not.
But your name is beautiful.
Thank you.
Did I pronounce it right?
Very well.
Rosenthal.
Surprisingly, you did.
Okay. So ladies, thank you for coming and good evening to you.
Good evening.
Thank you and good evening.
Social media. So you right now are a presidential candidate, right?
Exactly.
An aspiring presidential candidate. So clearly, social media would be important to you in this particular race. But then let's take it from us. Individually, you are also a producer. You're an on-air personality in this media space. You can't do anything without social media. Sometimes we even get our news and then our stories from social media. So how essential is the use of social media to you individually? I'll start off with you, Hilda.
Sure. So I think biologically, it's imperative that human beings just want to connect with each other. I mean, it's just inherent that we want to connect with each other. I mean, back in the days, you go to, I think when social media wasn't as vibrant as now.
As it is.
Yeah, exactly. We used to go to our friend's house and play. If we have assignments, homeworks, we meet together and do all of that. But now, I think it's made more easier and fun for us to connect with each other, connect with people that are not even around us.
Right.
Social media aside, connecting with family members and loved ones have actually caused us to donate to people. You see on social media, I think on TikTok is very, very popular there, how I think recently, I don't know their handle, but these twins actually were able to put a lot of money together to help babies to actually afford a very helpful life, and that their grandmother was not able to afford anything in.
Really?
Yeah, their grandma wasn't able to afford anything, and the kids actually lost their mom and lost their dad. So I don't know how that happened, but they were able to make their followers contribute a huge amount of money to support them. In fact, they even gave a huge amount of capital to the woman to start a business. They renovated the woman's house to have a very nice place. They gave a lot of money to the woman to afford for the kids and all of that. Putting that aside, social media has also helped us even find donors. That is something that is not really common. I mean, medically. So you find people wanting to, I mean, there are some medical issues where you find it very difficult to get some particular donors. You have people coming out to actually donate to people that are about, yes, exactly, to people that are about to die. I think social media has its negative sides. I'm sure we'll definitely come to that.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think without social media, wouldn't be doing some things that we are doing now, and wouldn't be able to achieve some particular things that we are achieving now.
So basically, you're saying that personally, you think it's done a lot of good.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
great. How about you?
I think I side with her to a very large extent. Social media has played a huge role. Almost everything you do now is linked to social media. Everything you want. Let's first of all talk about communicating with people. From WhatsApp to I think we can't even communicate anymore with WhatsApp. I've sent you something on WhatsApp, just check it. Like, you're always, for WhatsApp,
Even in the same room.
You're always on your WhatsApp platform.
Yeah.
And then we have the Instagram, we have TikTok, we have Twitter, we have
Facebook and
Snapchat and all of that. I think it's really made life easy. You can entertain yourself there. You can promote yourself there. It's honestly, for me, I have so much fun on social media. I don't post as much, but I enjoy the content. I am someone who would probably close from work. My evenings are for social media.
Okay.
Watch memes, funny videos, laugh. That is how I entertain myself. So it has played a huge role in, first of all, sending information across, getting information, promoting yourself, your brand, and also trying to get support and rally people behind. For example, we've had a number of protests, we've had a number of activism as a result of social media. And even with the Mobad issue happening right now, what's it called? Ghana, the issues that are happening now,
right now.
a number of things is rallying people to support a cause,
Right.
or activism in general, government-wise, whatever, and even information from politics to every single thing is linked to social media. If you want to promote your song as an artist, you need social media, every single thing, because everybody is there. It's very accessible. It's very cheap to an extent because you are not paying so much
for it,
unlike previously where you have to travel long distance and then tell this person to tell this person, and you don't have
or even writing letters to your pen pals and all of that.
And it would take how many years? But right now I send you a message if you are wherever you are. I can call someone in US, UK, wherever, and communicate clearly to the person and get information from there as well. Right now we know what's happening in Niger, we know what's happening elsewhere across the world through social media. Well, we have the mainstream media, but obviously social media is something I think we cannot.
It's more like information on the go.
We cannot take social media out of our lives right now. We can't. It's not possible.
Okay, so let's just give credit to the Gen Zs, because not too long ago we were saying that they are all about social media, and then it is in their time that it's as vibrant as ever. And of course, we are all benefiting from it. But in as much as we say that, just like you said, so there's promotion, artists are promoting their music, lot of activisms on there. We gather together for a cause, just like the one you cited, that a group of people donated, or they organized some donations and supported. Of course, you go on social media, and especially on Instagram, you see a lot of, I have seen more with the Nigerians. I know Ghanaians are doing, but a lot more of the Nigerians go to rural areas, or even the people who are less privileged. They are assisting them, they put their stories on there, and then before you know, people are sending funds to elevate their lives and everything. And without social media, we wouldn't know a lot of things. With the mobile situation, updates and everything, like, we have information on the go. So clearly it's a good thing. But you know what we say, that every good thing has a bad side. Before we come to the bad side, let me take you as a producer and as a presenter. How has social media in any way equipped or enhanced your productivity? If so, in what ways?
I think yes, to a very large extent, especially as a producer.
Okay.
Because you need information every single time. If you're producing content or producing work in general, you need information, especially if you're working in the media space where you have to be updated with what's happening in the news, in all aspects of life. Social media, something can happen in Kaswa and it's already there, even before the mainstream media picks it up.
Yeah.
So first of all, you have quick access to information, news, something that's happening. You also get to gather people's thoughts. For me, usually what I do as well is when there's an issue happening, I just usually go to the comments and read comments. I will hardly post.
You are one of those people who feel the comments. And then the actual gist in details is always in the comment section.
It's always in the comment section. I just go to the comment section and then read, and just to understand how people think and where exactly the story is emanating from, what different views on that particular perspective. That would sort of shape your views. If you probably were on this side and you saw a comment, they'll say, no, you should have, then you try to analyze. So it helps me, first of all, get information. It helps me also understand what's happening and entertaining as well.
Yeah.
Now, as a presenter, again, you have to promote your brand. And aside being a presenter, I also have a business, which I run solely on social media. And so social media, like, you basically, okay, let me talk about my business. You basically put content out there, you put your products out there, and people get to see it, people get to appreciate it, and people get to purchase. So social media has really helped me, because right now I even tell myself, or I tell people, that you don't necessarily need a physical shop for certain type of products or services to promote your business or to make money. Just with social media, you have your content, you take pictures of it, you post it on social media, and boom.
It's gone.
It's gone. And there are different ways to even promote it, get people to see it. You sponsor the ad, you get people to see it, people patronize you. So you can just be sitting at home, you probably don't have to rent a space, pay lights bill, electricity bill, and every single thing that comes with. And it's convenient because your order comes on your phone. You don't have to travel from your house to a specific location. So it's generally made my life easier as a business owner. So I think as a business owner, I've enjoyed so much from social media because without social media, I would have had to do a lot and invest so much more.
And then you reach the masses with just a little.
With just a little.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Madam President, so we know that election is due, right?
Exactly.
Even the country, our nation is about going for election. And then in school, in 2 weeks' time, you're also going for election. We see a lot of politicians on social media, even these oldies who have no business or should have no business with social media. They are garnering the following, they are out there doing their own thing, they are going live. They go for their, what do you call it? The rallies and the campaigns and everything. We see it on social media. I don't have to be in the Ashanti region to see that the vice president is contesting speaking to the masses there, or Honorable Kennedy Japan is out there, or anybody from the opposition is also doing their own thing. You are also trying to get in power. You are a student politician trying to get power. How useful has social media been for you? Well, I'm going to snitch on her. She made mention that until just about 2 years ago, she wasn't even on Instagram. So how is it, since you got on, how has the journey been? And then how is it working for this goal of yours?
So WhatsApp has been very, very helpful.
Okay.
With publicizing our policies. I mean, the students are normally on WhatsApp, so we usually, my team and I usually just publicize our policies out there, because I mean, you can't go to each and every class. The school is large. You can't go to each and every class speaking to them about your policies. And even aside that, you can't spend all the time in class. I mean, if you are going to talk about all these policies, you have to spend like close to an hour doing that, and you wouldn't have time. The lecturers are always in class speaking to them, so they'll probably just give me 10 or 5 minutes to speak to the students. For them to know my policies and probably vote for me, I would have to put my policies out there. I'll probably have to send it to them individually to for them to read. So I think WhatsApp has really been helpful to us in publicizing our policies out there, because I don't know how, I honestly do not know how we're actually going to do it without
social media,
without WhatsApp. Exactly. You get it. So
so yes, social media is doing good clearly, but there's a point where we feel like this is too much. Recently the WhatsApp updates, I don't know if it was just me.
It's not just you.
Like, what's all this?
Can you search the status thing?
No, you can't search anymore. Keep scrolling.
There are lots of updates. It's true.
So we'll come to the negative things or the bad things that happens there. But then, not so long ago, we didn't know much about these platforms. We learned, right? And then there's always a new version, or there's always an updated version that we get to we have to keep abreast with. How do I put this? Has the update, or do the updated versions in any way affect you? You made mention that it has personally helped your business, right? Has it in any way affected your business? Okay,
so I think good and bad.
Let's talk about the positives now. We'll go to the negatives.
In terms of the updates, there's a positive and there's a negative. So, first of all, with the positive is, now I can say Instagram. There are a number of features. For example, if you're creating a reel, you don't have to sort of start from scratch. You can just use someone else's template. And there are other features. There's shop, and there are other things that you can use as a business owner, and other things that you can use on the platform to boost your product. However, now Instagram, or a number of social media, let me use Instagram specifically, you probably post the content and it's not reaching as many people, or it's not reaching all your followers.
Right.
Because they sort of now, they're restricting your post to people who engage your post. So for example, you probably have 10,000 followers. But when you post, not all
of them see it.
Not because they are not online, but because Instagram is not putting it there for them to see it. So unless you are constantly engaging in a Foriwa's post, for example, if you post and I like it, then the next time you post, it will be on my feed. But if I don't engage on your post, then I don't get your feed when it comes. And that's why people probably have a number of followers and they get few likes or few comments. Because, and then they say, okay, now because of that, you have to add the favorites and following and some other things that you can select. But naturally, when you go on your Instagram app, you just want to see the
What's
post. You don't
happening.
have to go and then see the following or just select people who you're specifically following or favorite certain accounts to see those ones. You just want to see the... And I asked myself, why am I following people when you don't show me their posts? I'm following them because I want to see their posts. Then let's just take out the following parts completely. But so I think that's the downside, because now you don't get as much reach as you should. Because ideally, if I'm having 100,000, then my post should be able to reach a number of people. But unless you engage it. So I think some of these updates, they're not so conducive, or they don't help as much. And some do.
Okay.
So some don't, some help. It's a two-way thing.
Okay. Now, when we come to the section of how much is too much, we see a lot of bullying on social media. We see a lot of things that are not appropriate to be on social media. Like, for instance, yesterday I opened my Instagram, and then the first image that hits me, I was like, what the? I had to, and this is, I don't want to mention her name, but we all know our sister who is going through, she has sessions and times and seasons. Like, something inappropriate was on her page. So imagine if it was my child or it was my younger sibling who wanted to go online to surf the internet or something and sees that. We see a lot of this happening. We see a lot of disrespect, a lot of bullying. You have instances where people's accounts are being hacked and all of that, right? When it comes to these things, those are the downsides of social media. We've spoken about the pros, so now we are coming to the negative things or the bad things. What is the worst thing you've seen on social media and made you feel like, no, this is not right, this shouldn't be here?
There are so many things that we can talk about. And I honestly think that social media is doing more harm than good, if I'm being honest. Social media is doing more harm than good.
Expatiate.
Yes. So I was watching a documentary on Netflix on this particular topic, the dilemma of social media. And you could see co-workers or workers that worked at Apple, Google, YouTube, Snapchat, all the social media platforms you can think about, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of them. And you could hear a common trend that these founders or owners are actually being manipulative in a sense that, okay, so on TikTok, for instance, you find something that is interesting to you. Okay, you find cute puppies, and they'll be like, okay, so this person is interested in this particular post. So and you notice that it keeps coming. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
And then they tell you because you interacted with this
exactly.
or
so
that post.
Imagine if there's any pornographic material. They notice that you are interested in things like that. It continues. They keep... So they are just interested in what you are interested in, whether it's negative or it's...
pushing it to you.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's negative or it's positive. They just want you to spend more time. They just want you to keep scrolling. I mean, that is their primary objective. It's business. They don't care if you have other responsibilities. They don't care if you have to go to work. They don't care if you have to rest. They are just interested in you scrolling. So they keep providing you with things that they don't care if
that
it's
will
negative.
Engage you.
Or exactly, that will engage you. Now, I heard you mentioning what if your kid chances on it. I'm just like wondering, why should a kid even be there? So I don't know for you guys, but I don't even remember I think when I was a kid, I wasn't even using a smartphone.
We all
but now people that are even younger than us are actually using more expensive and luxurious gadgets. They have very expensive and they're very high iPhones, and you see them. I won't even lie to you, these kids don't have anything useful to do there. It's not like they're even going to learn. It's a lie. They are not going to learn. They are not going to do anything. You can see people creating content in dorms, secondary schools. You can see people creating contents that you'll be wondering, are phones really allowed there? I don't know, because when I was in school, phones were not allowed.
True.
So now you're wondering, are phones really allowed
But we're all
there?
smuggling phones in schools.
Exactly, but it's not legal. But the fact that you are putting it out there is quite, like, I mean, you used to hide it, even though you used to smuggle it, you used to hide it. But I mean, these people are putting it out there for everyone to see. I saw something on social media, and a girl, a very young girl, I'm very sure she's even like 14 years or whatever, a very young girl was in a gangbang with guys. I don't know if they are older than her.
In Africa?
Yes, I'm telling you. They were in a gangbang with her. They've covered their faces and everything. It was just everywhere. Things like this. People were, when you read the comment section, people were just like, post more, post more. Like, people were having fun, laughing, and yet there. Like,
what?
Like, funny comments. And you hardly see people really criticizing. And the people that criticize, you see other people coming for them.
For them.
Do you get what I'm saying? You go on social media, you see someone that is young. She's probably 16, or she's at the legal age, 18 years or something, but you see her pregnant, like flaunting on social media with her belly, then with her boyfriend and all of that. Then people will be like, oh, it's good you didn't abort the baby, it's good. I mean, it's very good you don't abort, right? But don't make it look like it's fine. And immediately someone talks, oh, so for Mame Patroyedin, please, do you want her to abort the child? And it's like, it's not normalized, right? My younger cousin will see this, or I don't have a younger sister, so my younger cousins will see this and be like, oh, it's fine. Do you get it? Because other people are doing it, and they feel, yes, and they'll feel it's fine. There are so many things going on social media. Look at Amma Official. You heard of Amma Official's issue. She was just all over saying that she just wanted to get access to the TikTok celebrities. And she just wants to have pictures with them. She left school wherever she was. I don't know if she was at Kumasi. She left school. She left school to come to Accra here just to have picture with someone. And they eventually, yes, is she even above 16?
I hear she's underage, but we're going to come to that and we'll delve more into it. But we need to go for a break. But before that, think on this. Is social media a negative enabling tool? We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back from the break. It's still the dish right here on MX24 TV, and we're talking about social media. How much is too much? So before the break, we were just delving into the negative aspects of social media, and Hilda gave us a beautiful submission. Beautiful, but negative things about social media, right? So Chichi, I'm going to come to you. You are on there for the fun, for the business, and to promote your brand, but then you enjoy the good content that comes to you. I believe you see these negative things that happen, the trolling, the insensitive comments, the bullying and all of that. How do you feel when you see such things?
I feel disappointed. I honestly don't know. This is one rule I always say. If you don't have anything nice to say, just shut up. If you do not have anything nice to say, shut up. It's as simple as that.
Right.
There's really no point coming to comment under someone's picture. You look horrible, your stomach is looking big, or you should have worn this, or your hair is looking old. You wore the same slippers yesterday. Like, why? If you really, really do not have anything to say, and people intentionally do it, to be honest, they do that for likes. They do that for, and when they do that, people go on their page and check them out for following and all of that, like the bongo ideas we always talk about. So
why did you say his name?
Just so we have a typical example of what I'm talking about. In the first place, you go on social media attacking people. That is literally your job. There's really no logical reasoning or logical, like, it's different when you're just having a simple dialogue and constructively criticizing people. But when you are constantly, unnecessarily writing nonsense on social media, then you have a problem. And some of them, they just do it for the likes and the clicks. Because clearly, he has a number of followers, and his following keeps growing and growing and growing. It means that to a large extent, people like hate speech, people like bullying, and people like comments like these. So it's a two-way thing. One way, if we're not enabling these people, if we're not liking their comments, if we're not clicking on it, or if we're not following these people who say these horrible things, then they would probably back off. But we keep encouraging them to say these things. And sometimes people say that if you don't want people to comment on it, then don't post. So if you bring yourself to, you make yourself available, we will talk about it. And I totally understand. However, let's be circumspect in certain things that we say, because I feel social media should be taken as real life situations. When you are on social media, it doesn't give you the guts to say nonsense, literally. Because when you are in person and you're speaking to the person, would you have said what you just typed on social media? The nonsense that you typed
like Benna Boy, everything that happened between him and Shatta, he was like, okay, I'm coming to Accra, we'll meet at the stadium. You know, like, say it to my face, that energy.
Yes, but these people, they hide behind their phones, and they just type, they spill all sorts of
gibberish.
Let
me just say that.
Exactly. Because they feel, oh, and also it's just, I think it's just an ego thing, an emotional and psychological thing. Because usually people who do that are, in quotes, nobody. Usually, in quotes. And when I say nobody, I mean...
So they project their insecurities.
They project their insecurities. There are people who don't have an established... Like, I stand to be corrected, but I've not seen a well-established, reasoning person who will just be going under comments.
I think we have time.
Exactly. So if you are going on social media and all you do is just to click on this comment and say nonsense, today you did this or today you... Like, and just give hate speech, then it means that there's something wrong with you psychologically. Okay,
so you know what we say, that there's nothing as bad press. And then there's also what we say, cloud chasing. People do things for cloud. So someone comes on live, someone going through something, depressed, doesn't have anybody in their corner to talk to. They come on live and then maybe they are sharing their problem. They cry or something. Oh, she's chasing cloud. Oh, he's chasing cloud. People come on there and then they are constantly airing their problems, talking about it. But typical is Mohbad's situation. This boy was telling us what he was going through in his songs. We didn't listen. He was telling us on a daily in his interviews. He comes on live, he records videos, he says things. But then we were made to think that, oh, he is suffering from this, or he's an addict or some sort. Some people are bottled under the whole mental illness issues or whatever, and then they are made to, we don't pay attention to them, because at the end of the day, we categorize them as cloud chasers or just trying to look for fame or whatever, or seeking attention or whatever. Do you think that if social media wasn't as enabling in the negative way that it is, we would pay more attention or pay close attention? But because of how we as a people made the platforms, yes, like you said, the documentary on Netflix clearly states that the creators of these platforms are just using it to their advantage, and then it goes against us. But then again, if they put it out there and we decide to be positive on there, we won't have the negatives come to play. So if we haven't made it an enabling place for negativity, for bullying, for trolling and all these hate speech and all of that, don't you think that it would have been better? So we see someone talk about a thing once or twice, a problem, or come on there to air their grievances, instead of attacking them or sidelining them, we would pay close attention to it, and then it would have been a different story than what we have now.
So two things that came to mind when you were talking. The part of where people are constantly putting their problems, crying on social media and all of that. I totally understand. I, however, do not agree with that approach of constantly coming on social media to cry or constantly sharing personal problems. I think that certain things are private, and certain things should be kept private, and certain things are public. There should be a distinction with what you want public and what you want private. Clear distinction, because we end up. I feel we are so much inside, and we are soaked in social media, and every single thing that happens to us, every single thing, we want to put it out there. My leg is hurt, I want to put it out there. My stomach is aching, I want to put it out there. My boyfriend broke up with me, I want to put it out there. Like every single thing that happens to us. And sometimes when we do that, we lose touch of real situations and forming real connections. We are too much fixated on how many followers did I get, how many likes did I get, how many, like there's this validation that comes with, the more I have following, the more valid I am, the more I feel like I am somebody, Misumi, Nipa, like that kind of thing. The more I get likes.
Okay.
The more I get likes, the more people interact with my post, then it feels like, but no, really, following 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, it doesn't mean that you are a big person, really. In real life, who and how really do you feel? What impact have you made? It's not about having 10,000 or 50,000 or 20,000 likes or following on social. No, I'm not saying there's a problem with it.
I know, I get
There's absolutely no problem with it, but do not feel like you need following to feel like you are now useful or you're now a big person or you have so much achieved something that I now feel whole as a person.
Right.
There are physical interactions, and that's why I initially said that I don't so much agree with putting a lot of private things on social media. We have to form physical interactions. We get so much, and people on social media, they really don't care. We don't care. Honestly, we do not care.
She doesn't care.
We don't
Chichi doesn't care.
The things you're commenting and like the pictures you put out there.
Chichi, but Chichi, but you know people actually get comfort from.
Yes, I totally understand, but I feel it's not real. It's not real.
I'm genuine when I come and comment and I say, "Oh my baby," or I say, "Oh," I'm being genuine.
I know you.
No, some people don't just do some people actually give like advice. Some people actually give them motivational
and it's from a good place.
Yes. Exactly.
I get that. I get you, and I get everything that you're saying. However, what I'm trying to say is that social media following is not. They're not your friends. Your followers on social media are not your friends.
So what if the person doesn't have like friends outside?
So that's why that is what I'm about to say. That let's try and form real connections. Let me see Hilda, right?
Yeah.
Let me see Hilda and form a connection with her, establish a relationship with her, and want to form some personal interaction. So if something is happening with me, I can fall to Hilda, and if Hilda has my back, I have her back.
What if Hilda is not available?
No, what I'm trying to say is let's form physical interactions. And it's not just about Hilda.
But you know, through social media, people actually have like real friendship. You know,
yes, you can create real friendships on social media, but that should not be your sole source of comfort. Social media should not be your sole source of let me put like entertainment or consolement when you're going through something. Social media should not be that sole source of satisfaction.
Okay.
You need real interactions with people. Okay. And that's why sometimes we go out, we meet people, and we're just on our phones. We don't make physical interactions and connections anymore.
So that's where I'm coming to. We've spoken about all of that. Now let's come to productivity, and then also we'll touch on how it is affecting real relationships. Social media is an enabler. If you allow it, it will take you the negative way or the positive way. Now, how long do you spend on social media on a normal day?
So I usually spend my time during, after class in the evening. So I don't just get up and do social media because I know myself. Immediately I pick my phone and I'm scrolling. That is it. I'm already spending more than 1 hour, and it's just going to make my day disorganized. So I just start my day. I mean, the usual stuff. If it's the gym I'm going to, if I have to go to. Oh yeah, sometimes it's not any serious thing. I beg, please, before you start judging, the way I look, please. it's nothing serious.
Oh no, but yeah, your body is well toned.
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, so I just go about my normal day activities. Of course, student politician. So I go on campus and campaign, study a little bit, then get to class.
Okay.
I close at 10:30, come back, and a little bit of social media. I'm nocturnal actually. And
A little bit of social media.
Yeah.
What's
a little bit.
the time space? An hour, 2, 3?
So if I'm being honest, I can do 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes.
That's the longest.
2 hours.
Okay, Chichi, how about you?
You shouldn't keep asking, else I'll keep going. So let's just keep
leave
it at 2 hours.
Okay.
To be honest, I spend all the time on social media. Like, okay, let me put it this way. Because of my work, I have to constantly be on social
look at
media.
you.
No, honestly, one, because of my work, I have to constantly be on social media. So I want to know what is happening constantly. I may not be like some things, you know, and I also want to be updated. Like I have to know personally what is happening and know. So certain things I just scroll, but it has unconsciously I'm picking it in my head.
Right.
So for example, when we are done with this, I'm going to pick my phone and just scroll through Instagram, to be honest. And also my business. I have to be posting regularly on my business page, especially. I don't post as much on my personal page, to be honest. So I would say I spend probably half of the 24 hours, so 12 hours on social. To be very honest with you, I am always on social media, especially Instagram, WhatsApp, because everything I'm doing is on my phone.
And you know, these things happen unconsciously.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because Instagram it tells you how many hours you spent. And the last time I checked, I think I spent about 22 hours on Instagram in a day.
A day.
And I was so disappointed in myself, and I told myself I was going to cut down. Now, do you know my new addiction? YouTube. That is one aspect that we usually don't pay attention to. So is it that you're watching a show or a skit or movies? I didn't even know there were movies on YouTube till recently. I'm enjoying them. And then Nons Mirai's Hands Game Show because of the banter. And that as well. So unconsciously, we spend a whole lot of time on social media. Does it not affect our productivity as individuals in our various sectors or in our various organizations? That's why when you kept saying that because of your job, you're constantly, I'm like, my friend.
No. Honestly, okay, I think for me, when the work has to be done, it has to be done. If I have to leave my phone and work, because
You have to.
I am very goal oriented. When the work has to be done, let the work be done. Yes. So I'm not going to, it's time for us to do a show. The show is at 7 a.m. and I'm on social media. No, come on. That is, no. But when I am on social media, I'm doing it at my convenience. Say we are done with the show, I'm probably on my way home or before on my way to work. Constantly, when I wake up, I pick my phone, I go on social media. First of all, I go on Instagram or WhatsApp to see if there's anything that has happened subconsciously, just so I am informed about what is happening on a daily basis. So that's why I say I use it for my work and for my business as well, because I have to go on, post and interact with customers and all of that. So, but I understand you, because like you go to certain workspaces, you go to a number of institutions, especially government institutions, and the person that's supposed to attend to you is on the phone, Instagram or wherever, watching TikTok videos, which is totally wrong and unacceptable, because you have to draw a line. There's a time for everything. When you have to work, especially when you have somebody in front of you, when you have to attend to something urgently. It is not your free time. You're not on lunch break to go and entertain yourself. You are in a workspace, or you are in school, or whatever productive thing that you are doing. We have to try as much as possible to discipline ourselves so much, because social media can be addictive. When you scroll, you watch something that you want to say, oh, that's all, but you want to keep scrolling. Before you know it, you've watched over A lot of things.
Yeah.
And you've watched a lot of things without even knowing. And sometimes I'm like, oh, after the next post, I'm done. Especially when I want to go and sleep. After the next post, I'm done. The next
4
post,
a.m. You're still on social media.
I'm watching reels, reading memes, and I'm laughing. Like, just...
And then at 6 a.m. you're upset that why is it morning already?
So yeah, I think for productivity, work-wise, we just have to try and strike that balance. But the other aspect of maybe sleeping late and all of that, we will try.
We will try. Okay, you want to speak on productivity?
Yeah, I think you should. She mentioned earlier that you should be disciplined. I think you should be very, very disciplined. That's like the first step. And have a target. I mean, organization. You should write the things down. I know probably people will not agree with me out there, and it's not going to be very consistent, but write the things down. That when I wake up at this time, I'm doing this. At this time, I should be doing this. And at least maybe you reward yourself with social media. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you do that, then you know you've done all of this. It's quite satisfying that you've been able to do all of this. Me personally, I would have to read before going to class, else I won't get what the lecturer is saying. Secondly, there are some lectures that would be quite intimidating or would embarrass you a little when they point at you. What is this? Then you can't answer. So I'll always want to read before going to class. I also said I'm doing student politics. I also have to have time to talk to students and all of that. If I'm spending all my time on social media, I'll definitely not have time to do all of this. And my day gets all messy and all messed up. So personally, I think you should be self-disciplined and have an organized schedule, right? That you are going according to this, and that. That at the end of the day, you know you have actually achieved your goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Now let's look at the aspect of where someone's addiction to social media or abuse of social media is affecting you or your productivity. How do you deal with these things?
Because say for example, you're working with somebody and the person is supposed to do something.
And then whatever they have to do has to be done before you can also proceed with what you've got to do. Or for instance, let's, just like you use institutions, right? Let me use a hospital. Most of our nurses and doctors, even our doctors, are on TikTok now doing...
They're enjoying themselves.
You get. Now you go in and then there's an emergency and the nurse now has to either pause the video she's watching so she doesn't lose it or save it or whatever. Things happen. You're waiting on maybe your assistant to bring you something that you asked her to do, an assignment or something, to enable you get done with your production. But it doesn't happen because you're stuck on social media. How do you let this not affect you?
I think it's to caution the person, honestly. Okay. I think it's to be honest. I try, or we should try to be as real as possible and not condone things that you don't like or things that are affecting you. If, for example, Oforiwa, you're supposed to do something or you're working with me and you're, Oforiwa, get the job done and come back to social media. I'm going to tell you that to your face.
Yeah.
So I think be honest with people. When they are not in line or when they are probably doing too much of something that's affecting you, generally tell the person. If the person is repeatedly doing the same thing, I think it's to report to whoever is higher, especially after you have dialogued a number of times.
And it's not going through.
You are supposed to do something and you're not doing it at the time you're supposed to do it. It's affecting our work. So can you, consistently you've asked her, she's not, then speak to someone who is higher because you can't continue to condone. And I think that generally people just fake smiles. Sure. So if you don't like something, instead of telling you that I don't like it, you're just like, okay, I'll be waiting for you. But
you're not happy.
I'm not happy with what you're doing. So just tell them to their face that I don't like what you're doing. Let's move on. Then if the person is not willing to change, then you take it up.
Okay, so we are wrapping up. How do we make social media a better place? Because from our submission, it seems like the downside seems to outweigh the pros, and that we are trying to have a balance at least, right? So how do we make it a better place, a conducive place for everybody?
So personally, if I would want social media to be useful to me, depending on how, looking at how the negative things are circulating around, I would personally think that I'll look for my interest. It doesn't have to be so hard.
Okay.
So I'm studying law, for instance. If I want it to be useful to me, I watch law content creators on TikTok,
Okay.
and I relate to them a lot. Like the things that they post, the fact that sometimes I know law is actually not easy. So sometimes I come home quite worried, anxiety, and all of that. You go on social media, it's all not negative, right? So you get people motivating each other. You get people from the comment section talking about their experiences and all of that. So personally, I don't want it to be too hard. I don't want to go away from the interesting and entertaining things too. So I also want it to be useful to me at the same time. So I'll go to something that would personally be useful. That is law content. I just go and laugh at memes. I look at the little tips on cases and all of that, and feel that I'm also learning, and it's actually useful in class too. So first of all, just get something that would be of interest to you and beneficial to you. Secondly, I also think that you should be disciplined. You should actually have a time. Give a time to yourself that you're going to spend this amount of time. You shouldn't just be like that. Exactly.
Okay, so in 30 seconds, can you address our viewers, your fans, or your people, about your policy, so that in order to get their votes?
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. So basically, yes, I'm Hilda Rosenthal, and I'm vying for the LSA president at Gimpa Law Faculty, and I think I'm the best person for this position. I've observed that there are some basic things in the faculty that have been overlooked, and I believe I'm capable of addressing those issues. First of all, we looked at elevating academic elevation, where we want to institutionalize tutorials. Aside that, we're also looking at welfare. Welfare in a sense that we want to have a bursary where we'll be intentional about funding that bursary for the purpose of helping students that are not able to pay their school fees. And it's not any student that can just come to us and tell us about how they are not able to pay their school fees. Investigations will be done for us to actually help the person pay their school fees. Another thing we are looking at is bridging the gap of communication between the executives and the students and the dean. So with that, we want to have a fixed office hours where, and this is not a usual thing at Gimpa Law Faculty right now. So we want to address that. We don't want to always be going to the secretariats where they hardly they usually do not attend to our problems immediately. We want to have a fixed hour where we could have the finance committee, we could have the academic committee and other committees. We already have that in the constitution. We'll have a committee that on this particular day, you can walk in at this time and make your complaints about your academics, about your results. On this other day, you can walk in and complain about finances. They will make sure we send all this these problems to committee, then everything will be reported back to the individual students. It's my 30 seconds up.
Over. Oh, it's over.
Okay. All right. Yes. Thank you very much again for the opportunity.
Don't worry. I wish I was a Gimpa, so I'll just go and vote for you.
Jonathan, she already has my vote.
She has my vote.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
yes.
I'm not, but you have my vote.
But Chi, so in summary, what can we do to make it a better
I think, what are you on social media for?
30 seconds.
Yes, what are you on? Answer the question, what are you on social media for? What do you use it for? Are you making money on social media? If you're not making money on social media, what else are you doing on social media? So that way you're able to tell how much time I should allocate to it and what I will be doing there. So if you're a business owner, yes, you're getting this. If you are not getting money or doing anything that would give you money on social media, focus on other things, on social media less. That's what I'll say, basically.
If you're not doing anything that is making you money on social media, focus on other things. That's what Chichi is saying. So the beautiful ladies have heard their minds, and they've said everything that I would have said. So yes, in as much as social media has its positive side and the negative side, we just realize that the negatives mostly outweighs the positive. But we as people can flip it around and make it positive and very impactful for everybody in society. Do better by being a kinder person on social media and educating people, because you never know, people go through a lot. But you being kind on there can even help someone get over a bad day or a bad experience. Have a great evening, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Ofriwa. Thanks for watching.